Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, or today, or whenever you're watching this, we're going to continue with Animorphs number 2, The Visitor by K.A. Applegate. Look, a kitty door, Jake pointed. Where? Marco asked. See the lines of light at the bottom of the regular door? Oh, yeah, Marco said. I wish the moon were out. I can't see a thing. The four of us were cowering behind a hedge that bordered the Chapman's lawn. They lived in a pretty normal-looking suburban home. You know, 2 stories, a garage, a lawn. Nothing to make you think that the person who lived there was part of a huge alien conspiracy to take over the world. Let me just ask you this, Marco whispered. Why did it have to be Chapman? I was afraid of Chapman even before we found out he was a controller. You're not still upset over that detention he gave you? I asked. Look, if you're going to listen to your CD player in math class with an earphone hidden under your hair, you have to remember not to start singing along. Yeah, that was only slightly stupid, Marco. Jake agreed. I still say Chapman never would have given me a whole week's attention if he was totally human. I have a question, Cassie said. How do we get Melissa's cat to come outside? We all looked at her. Good question, I admitted. I mean, we could hide here in the bushes for a long time, but sooner or later the neighbors are going to notice. What does the cat look like? Tobias was sitting perched on a nearby tree branch. He was close enough to hear us. I tried to remember. Its name is Fluffer. I remember that much. Fluffer and the kitty. You've got to be kidding. Marco. Of course. I tried to remember back to when I used to hang out with Melissa. It's black and white. You know, wind patches. I'll look around. Maybe it's already outside. Tobias spread his wings, swooped silently down over our heads, and flapped away into the night. You know what we need? I said. We need another kitty. We should have thought of that. Then we could have the second cat call out to Fluffer. Marco turned to stare at me. Meow, Fluffer, come out. Meow, come and play, meow. Tobias morphed a cat very early on, didn't he? I asked. Yeah, Jake said. His first morph. The first morph any of us did. Rachel, you need to remember if you go in there tonight that you have to stay in cat character, Cassie said. Most people would just think it was weird if a cat acted strangely, but Chapman may be able to guess what's going on if Fluffer suddenly starts acting uncat-like. So you're saying I shouldn't try eating with a fork or changing the channels on the TV? Everyone laughed, quietly and nervously. but it was laughter just the same. Suddenly, Tobias dropped out of the sky, then drifted over us in a lazy circle and called down, "Got him!" He settled back on the branch. He was really an amazing animal when you just looked at him as a bird and didn't think about him being a boy trapped in there. I mean, the gaze of a hawk when it is looking right at you is incredibly intimidating. Gentle Tobias now had an expression that looked totally ferocious. "You're kidding. You found Fluffer?" I asked. "Hey, it's easy. Spotting prey is what I do. Or what a hawk does. Anyway, actually, there are maybe 6 or 8 cats running around the neighborhood. Also 3 dogs and an amazing amount of rats and mice." "Rats?" That got Marco's attention. "Rats? Here? This is suburbia. I mean, it's a lot better than where I live. They have rats?" "There are rats everywhere," Tobias said. "Rats and mice and all kinds of plumpy, juicy." He fell silent, embarrassed. "Get a grip, Tobias," Marco said. "Don't start eating rats, all right? I don't know if I can have someone who eats rats for a friend." Sometimes Marco is funny. Sometimes he goes too far. This was one of those times. "Shut up, Marco," I growled. "I ate a live spider," Jake pointed out. "Does that mean you and I can't be friends?" From his tone of voice, I could tell he was angry too. None of us knew what Tobias was going through. None of us had ever been in Animorph for more than 2 hours. Tobias had been a hawk for more than a week. Marco realized he'd been a jerk. "Well, yeah, I guess you're right," he muttered. "Besides, I've been known to eat eggplant, so I guess I can't criticize." That was an apology, or as close as Marco could get to an actual apology. "The cat we're looking for is just a half block away," Tobias said. "Follow me." He flew off, but kept low. We took off after him. Even flying at minimum speed, Tobias was too fast for us to keep up with. So we had to circle back again and again. We had a hard time keeping him in sight. "This doesn't look too strange," Cassie joked. The 4 of us running down the street, looking up in the sky. "There," Tobias called down. "See that yard with the 2 trees?" "Yeah, just to our left?" "That's the one. The cat you're looking for is stalking a mouse, right behind the trunk of the nearest tree." "Okay, we can't all go trapezing over some stranger's yard," I pointed out. "I'll go with Cassie." Marco held up the kitty carrier we had brought along. "Don't you need this?" "Not yet. I'll grab Fluffer and bring him back over here. You 2 guys just stand here, looking casual." Cassie and I stepped onto the lawn. The house was dark. Maybe no one was home. That would be good. Go left, I suggested to Cassie. We circled the tree. Hey, Fluffer, I said in a high, talking to animals voice. Here, kitty kitty, remember me? There he is. I see him. I squatted down and held my hand out toward the cat. Hey, Fluffer, Fluffer, it's me, Rachel. Fluffer flattened his ears back along his skull. He looked from me to Cassie and back again. Come on, Fluffer, it's me. Come on, boy. He's a male? He's a tomcat? Cassie asked. Yeah, I think so. Oh, wonderful. Cassie moaned. Please tell me he's been fixed at least. Have you been fixed, Fluffer McKitty? I cooed. Why do we care? I asked Cassie. Because pound for pound, a tomcat is like one of the toughest, most dangerous little things around. Oh, Fluffer, my little kitty friend Fluffer. Even if he is fixed, a male cat out at night in hunting mode? Cassie shook her head. We should have worn gloves. Oh, come on. He's a sweet kitty cat. To demonstrate just how sweet Fluffer was, I reached a hand for him. In a movement too fast for my human eyes to see, Fluffer swiped out with one paw. 3 bloody scratches appeared on the back of my hand, and Fluffer shot straight up the tree. Ow! I stuck my injured hand to my mouth. Gloves would definitely have been a good idea, Cassie said. How are you guys doing? Jake whispered, just loudly enough for me to hear him. Wonderful, I said through gritted teeth. I'm bleeding, and Fluffer is up the tree. I heard Marco giggle. I expected that. But then I heard Jake giggling too. I looked up and saw 2 glittering yellow-green eyes glaring down from the dark tree. This was supposed to be the easy part, I said. I figured, okay, we go and acquire Fluffer's DNA, and then the hard stuff begins. We have a cat up a tree, Cassie said dolefully. You know how hard it is to get a cat down out of a tree? I have a plan, I said. Tobias, are you up there? Right above you, but I'm not going to try and snatch an angry tomcat down out of a tree. That's not what I was going to ask, I said. I took a deep breath. This night was turning weird real fast. What I need is a mouse. Oh God, like halfway through this chapter, my nose started to fucking itch. It's like, yeah, nose start to itch. Now just see if I fucking give a shit. I do. Okay, some of my feelings about this chapter. When Marco, quote unquote, goes too far, I think my personal headcanon is that Tobias doesn't mind. I mean, Marco is a jerk to everyone. And so he might feel that, you know, hey, Marco's not afraid to treat me the same. So I do like that about him. And Marco's comments might, always in joke form, because he can never show anyone else that he actually gives a shit, was him doing what he thinks is best for Tobias, reminding Tobias about his human side and trying to coerce Tobias into staying as human-like as possible, which Marco assumes Tobias wants. I don't know. First time reading the books, I definitely remember with starting to reread, it did take a little bit for Marco to become a likable character for me. I can't remember if he was likable at this point for me or not. Another thing is that sound. Back in elementary school, and if someone from way back then has found this video, hi. Well, back in elementary school, I had a nickname called Catwoman. And it wasn't because I was awesome like her. It was because I could make that hissing sound, and I did that a lot. So it's sort of one of those talents you sort of forget for a while, or don't really use it as often or at all. And then you're put into a situation where you have to use this talent that you thought was going to be useless. And so that's what happened in the dramatic reading tonight. I was like, oh shit, this does bring back memories. So, what's your opinion on this chapter? Please comment below. No major spoilers. Minor spoilers, okay, but something like this character dies, here's something that happens at the end of this book. No. So, still comment below. I'm hoping that people might find out about Animorphs through this, so that if they don't find any, major spoilers down below, that'll be great, so there will still be twists and turns for them to experience. And if you're one of those people finding this series for the first time and you're like, Animorphs #2, this seems really interesting. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link to get the book in the description. If you're watching this on my blog, jashykins.blogspot.com, there's an ad at the bottom. And in both cases, you click the link, you click the link, or you click the ad, and you'll be able to buy this book new or used. So, so it's, if you're like, I don't want to buy paperback, or if I want to buy used, the original, yeah. And if you're watching this on my YouTubes, please subscribe and like. I need attention. If you're watching this on my blog, jashykins.blogspot.com, look all over the blog. There's lots of interesting stuff to do. It should keep you there for hours or days or whatever if you're really bored. And there's a follow by email thing in the sidebar thingamajig. And so you'll get alerted to every time I make a new post, and you can keep up with this Jash reads that way. And now is the taking the shot, and I lost the shot glass broke. I didn't get a new one because I've just been heartbroken about the old one. And if people have, been keeping up with this channel for a while, they'll know how long that is. I'm like, oh, you're that upset over a shot glass. Yes, I am. This is special to me. It was a Star Wars anniversary thingamajig. But anyways, now we're going to take a shot, and I'll say some things. If you don't drink alcohol, I'm drinking water tonight. You know, you can drink milk, something healthy for those of us who do drink alcohol. Get your favorite liqueur, whatever, or alcohol. And I'll just get prepared, you know, pause and see what crazy shit I might say. So let's take a shot and hope for a good season finale of Game of Thrones. Also hope for a better season 8. And yeah. Cheers. Okay, and until next video, goodbye.